they come now the student and friends could use we guess them because with the democracy they can look inside waiting on the come out in parliament so far as then go down the debate tomorrow because every year the year can around the Ministry of Finance can care go the bill na parliament for let the members of parliament them go debate them and approve them. We go make ministry departments and agencies them go able to get money for run the coming year. And this is now the 2023 budgets and the debate so. So for council on that this morning at the studio, I want to welcome we members of parliament and we get this morning. I start from Honorable Abdul Kabo, constituency 077, Potloko district. They represent the APC party in parliament. Good morning, welcome to the program.
Good morning, Mabel. Good morning, Nifambulem House.
And also we get Honorable Mustafa Musa Selu, constituency 095, Namoyamba district. Good morning, welcome to the program.
Good morning, Mabel. Good morning, listeners and viewers as well.
All right, now we're members of parliament and this is the studio this morning. For can't talk about waiting. They don't fair not so far as then we don't start the debate for the 2023 budget. On Monday, we pass so and tomorrow will be the final day for let the MP them conclude the debate and approve the budget. Well, at the start with Honorable Abdul Kabo from constituency 077. They represent the people in Potloko district. Let we just start first. We don't listen to waiting so far. Musa Kamara Bingada in parliament and the debates they continue. And the theme for this year budget now addressing the needs of the vulnerable in the context of multiple crises. We don't listen to a few members of parliament from that particular report that Musa puts together, but let's just start first from your own impression, taking a look at the theme. What just talk about this just now when addressing the needs of the vulnerable in the context of multiple crises. How you could describe the whole budget, taking into consideration that theme they we are just talking about. So before we can go into details, how you describe the budget?
Basically, the theme not reflects within the budget.
Why?
Because when you say multiple crises, it should say a lot of prevailing circumstances that we don't affect the economy of the country. So you for try for mitigate against them challenges then they. So you for institute or you for appropriate money in a way that you go spend money like other they under pressure or other exposed to crisis. But if you watch the budget entirely, you will see say we spend regardless of the current circumstances we find ourselves. If you go to the wage bill, you go to the inflation, you go to all the microeconomics indicators, they're not good. You see, so when you say you get crisis, it for sure in the manner where you spend money. But as I say, the budget, the amount of money we even lost, we unaccounted for, and everything not reflect that very, 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 very theme of the budget.
So if you forgive a descriptive definition of how you could describe them.
SOS nine the name budget then a parliament. You don't say this now operation pay yourself. Because clearly in the budget, we see say gratuity of all ministers, government workers, they be paid in March, before the end of the government.
So the issue of multiple crises, when you talk to government functionaries, then he always points to the Ukraine war, we get COVID-19 and other global issues them as the crisis where saloon self we don't affect saloon or governance system na saloon. We make them gam the title of that budget or the title of the budget this year. And you they say that's not the case. For you think say their issues say no they affect saloon much?
Well, I not say no they affect salon, They affect the entire world, yeah? But you find out say now waiting they exacerbate or waiting they make a worst. Now, because governments not get inappropriate policies them, for respond to the prevailing circumstances. Sometimes then the government not even prefer any policy for respond to the crisis. Now, even before the crisis, economy not been good. We may get poor fiscal management, we may get high expenditures, low revenues, rising debt level, and also corruption. So for just blame them on the Ukraine war and COVID, to me, it's not okay because now we take a look at the Mano River. Yeah? Go na Guinea. Guinea subjected to the same crisis we were subjected to. Liberia subjected to the same crisis we were subjected to. Ivory Coast subjected to the same crisis to we self face, yeah? But Guinea, the growth rate na Guinea of the economy in 2020 na 7%. Whilst Salone na -2%. You see? And the estimated growth rate for 2021 na Guinea na 5.2%, while Salone na 3.2%. And inflation na Guinea, as at the talk so 2022, na 12%, while Salone na 29.4%. You see, and Guinea, the money, you know, na limited depreciation they get. The money in value, then try for keep them to that level. Even the public debt na Guinea na 43.3% of the GDP, while Salone na 92% of the GDP. You see, so you find out say Guinea they prefer more economic policy, way productive, even though then they under the same circumstances where Salone they, you find out say the money it can beat we own in terms of value, the money, you know, the economy strong past we own just because of them policies the way then they prefer. And also in the Mano River Union, we get also Ivory Coast. The growth rate of Ivory Coast 2021 na 7%. Estimated at 6%. Inflation na Ivory Coast as at the talk so na 4.2%, while Salone na 29%. So even Guinea, you know, the debt to GDP ratio na less than 50%.
But you look at somebody go tell you say the Guinea economy bigger than Salone economy, and mining sector alone the boom way they able abstain then shock then the way then they face.
Again, now the same circumstances now we all subjected to. The same circumstances we Guinea they face, now the same one we face. So regardless of your economy, if for sure in the microeconomic indicators them, but if you able to respond to them, you able to give productive, you know, policies them, you able, you know, Salone we exchange rate it na free fall on, you see. And the reserve, even at BSL, Bank of Salone, it depletes rapidly. Right. So to me, I no one just ascribe this problem to COVID and Ukraine and Russia war. It's beyond that. It has to do with the policies then, with economic policies the way they prefer. Because we don't see outside countries the way they within the Mano River Union, they try and they do well.
Continue for the between at the studio, Honorable Abdul Kagbo, Member of Parliament, Constituency 077 at Port Loko District. We'll come back to you.
And come to me, other studio guest, we na Honorable Mustafa Musa Selu from Constituency 095, Moyamba District. They represent the ruling SLPP party na the program. Good morning once more, Honorable, and welcome to the program. Good morning, Salone.
Good morning, Musa.
Yes, the same question to you. How you can describe this year budgets with the appropriation within Lena Parliament for the fiscal year 2023?
Yeah, well, the budget, it seems very clear, and we all know we are in multiple crises. And Sierra Leone has been a poor country that we know, and not to insert 4 years, this government takes Sierra Leone for be the one of the biggest economy in the world that we can reduce it to Ediso. We made this country just a global shock will affect the entire world. America, the UK, the France, and the big giant countries where we depend on types of economy, they were battling with this crisis. Even the Ukraine war, the battle right now. We know the Europe, most of the gas they use now from Russia. What did they use? So the SSF they in very big crisis. So if possibly they can't compare Sierra Leone as a poor country from where they born me and you to this time, then if they talk something, we give what to call sincerity of purpose. Yeah, we have to be sincere with yourself. And also we they talk about we now manage the situation well. With all this shock, we're in a global shock. Just Ebola in 2014, this country, the government will be there, my colleague government will be there, they declare with austerity. That is insincerity. Where a country now like this, with all this international crisis, a global crisis, we don't come. You get the COVID, you get the Ukraine-Russia war, but with all that COVID, we president who we get, and this government don't manage it very well to a point that we're not able to get as much casualties as the Ebola. And Musa Wade, and even under this crisis, and if you say anybody don't ever grumble and say salary don't, they don't pay salary. This month they will pay salaries on the 24th, 25th. We in the midst of this crisis. If not my brother, they won't term like they don't say austerity.
Okay, no.
So it's not you don't have control over national disasters, but you have control over the way you manage your situation. That is the point. Yeah.
Now, when you talk about austerity and non-austerity system, the debate always among the people now how it impact on them. If somebody been to buy rest at least 200 or 300,000 by then, and they buy 500 now, you know we will understand what you talk so whether saloon in the austerity or not. In this budget, how you think say the policies then they for address the issues then they of basic amenities, especially thing for it?
Well, now I make say we get for be sincere to ourselves. Yeah, what thing we don't do as a government, what we do as a government is that if you come to the issue of how we cushion this, let me put in a radio here for let people to understand. Now the government is in other countries, like when we already compare, what do they do for cushion the effect of this? They increase goods and services tax. What do? We reduce some. Even if you look at the revenue where NRA get for generate for able for support this budget, because this budget not just a document. But what do they support this for the implementation? Now the revenue they collect, where NRA collects, yeah. What do we do for the GST? All of this GST now 1.7 trillion. 9 GST contributes to this. Whereas other countries they increase their goods and services tax for just able to match up with the current financial situation. So in other words, even cement, we don't reduce the import tax on cement. We don't reduce on rice. Rice is 0%. We don't reduce on so many commodities. And they always talk about just like when you're in a flight, you don't get control over the weather situation. You as a pilot, if you're always ready in terms of turbulence, how they move, how the pilot navigate your way for land safely. I think that's the thing that what they do as a government. We don't get control over the thing that will happen because they are global. Yeah, but our responsibility as a government is how we manage those effects. All of this what they talk. So if not to the people of Sierra Leone not be wise enough for voting this government, if not be the past regime, my brother, Musa, who say this way they talk, for the talk. Because with all, just imagine the serious 0%, cement 10% discount on import duty, all of that still follow cushion the effect no more. I think those are the policies what they for look at. The layman has to not understand this unless we're not back at the effort estate, go for the help people if understand the situation there. Because if we not be the put their measure in place, the financial policies that are in place, like right now, you're not going to talk about 500,000. You're not going to talk about petrol, and the one to hold for succeed. But with all of this, we still able get availability of these commodities are in market. Like in the past, na black market will be no. If it's small thing, na black market. Fuel na black market. You see also the bond with fuel. Rest na black market. They say haja rest. So with this government, the commodities are available and the cost, we try for cushioning the cost. It's just that it's about attitude. Even the business community, we attitude go for change them. Not be sincere with yourself. Yeah.
So for you, the theme we choose for this particular debate is speak to the current issues.
That is speak to the issues that directly. Now that are the outline. So these are some of the mechanisms, some of the policies we in the midst of the crisis and the vulnerable. We people are vulnerable in this country that we know. And like I say over and time again, we not meet this country that a high peak we can put on down. 2014, 2015, we now be the fastest growing economy. So I don't know what happened. Just Ebola, when I just the Mano River Basin effect, we can drop to austerity. So we not safe na the fourth estate. We need for the promote this because if not just the Mano River Basin affected by a particular disease, then we can't grow up to austerity. Then this is a global challenge. We all the battle to you and Sierra Leone right now on record. We don't see how COVID. We know we say don't know, but we don't see how drastically the COVID impact don't reduce and how government they try for mitigate the issues.
Then according to the theme of the budget we my colleague just read now for able to address the multiple crises way the country they face as a result of globalization. But the opposition at parliament don't describe or do as Operation Pay Yourself budget, and you be then at parliament where they give justification. You do agree with that?
The justification for me is not something we would take for granted because as opposition, their own responsibility now for keep we on with toes for let we able to provide the services for the country, but they go the other way. Yeah, let me just come. If we talk say this, we begin name the budget with different names, and at the same budget here with the survive form. Now the same budget year they pay the same post where they describe the budget for. The same budget year at the end of with term. Now the same budget they go use for pay people gratuity, people benefit, people enumerations. Now the same budget year one for let they use for provide light. Now the same budget year. So for me, this now a description of how they can manage the situation in this 2023. Then at the budget days, how we go for implement them and what are the strategies that they put in place in terms of financing. We let not forget, say, as a government, this government, the international partners, they get high respect for we. And I make even in terms of internal revenue generation. You see the EU, they're not like the World Bank. They get performance indicators, and we don't be those indicators very well make the EU. They're still there with we. With the past government, you see how they withdraw rapidly because they did not meet the indicators like internal revenue generation. They don't meet those indications, and those indicators are very key to the European Union. Yeah, that is why we still have the European Union pouring their money for support to development programs because we try as a government. Yeah.
Account to Honorable Abdul Kagbo from constituency 077 under the All People's Congress APC party. Today we talk on the appropriation bill within Parliament. And earlier, Honorable, we don't start to talk about the issues them with the board on the ordinary Saloman as far as the economy concern. Now we look at the exchange rates as an MP. They look at the appropriation bill now. When you look at the bill, how you think say it address the issue of the exchange rates?
Well, firstly, before I go into the exchange rate, let's just address the issue of austerity. Because even in the debates in the Parliament, any SLPP MP we grab, it just they say APC left whipper austerity, APC left whipper austerity. Basically, I don't know. Let's just explain what austerity mean. Austerity, now when you see say your microeconomic indicators they're not good, you see say your economy not good, then you offer measures where go reduce government expenditure. Like for example, government can say, well, Lord, reduce travel or Lord, cut down on salaries. Look, now that's not austerity. And that now one way for sure say a government responsible where you give a positive response to the economy of the country because of the way the economy did. Now austerity. But that just come. In fact, if this government was financially prudent, then for don't declare austerity long time. Because the microeconomic indicators there now is far worse than the way been there where APC declare austerity. APC declare austerity because they know say we for be responsive to the finance, to the economy of the country. If we see things they go back, law cut down on this, law cut down on this, law cut down on this. So the process of cutting down on your expenditure now austerity. Now, law we take this here. The time where APC declare austerity, the time where we growth rate go to minus 20.5, then the inflation now be 8.3%. Now where they no one declare austerity, the inflation unprecedentedly now 9.4%. It never happen at this country. For let inflation go 29.4%. So 29.4% still they not declare austerity when it been better. The time where APC declare austerity because APC let the people learn. APC want to reduce government unnecessary spending. And now even when the indicators them bad, inflation, exchange rate where you ask me for, is extremely bad. You understand? And waiting they make exchange rate bad. Now the demand for dollar. Where you go out for dollar and then they make exchange rates bad. One way they reduce the demand for dollar. Now for cut on you travels. Because the more way you go out, the more government go out, now the more than they demand dollar. You understand? This government still they travel. Everybody still they travel. And we find out say no solution not the because they no one declare austerity. Now look into the exchange rate proper. In 2008, when APC can have power, the exchange rate now been 3,000 leons. 3,000 leons per dollar. You see, 2017, whilst to the left power, now been 7,500 leons. So meaning, in all the 10 years of APC, now 4,500 leons, then we add now the exchange rate. SLPP came and met the exchange rate at 7,541 leons. They increased and just in 4 years, they increased and to 16,672 leons. So the 4 years of SLPP, they don't add 9,131 leons. Unlike the 10 years of SLPP of APC, when are 4,512 leons. So SLPP don't double waiting APC left just in 10 years, just for the exchange rate. So to me, They're not for the, them for be grateful that APC introduced austerity. And we dey look forward to this government for introduce a measure where go reduce government expenditure.
that
Where
brings
go
me to
spend
my
like say we
next
dey under problem.
question. You talk about introducing a measure for able for stabilize the exchange rates and some of the issues here we don't make mention of. If we for identify possible solution to some of the issues here and it's in the way they happen currently. Now waiting go be your own recommendation as to solving some of the issues here.
Firstly, if you go na paragraph 64, government admit say most of the expenditure na the creation of more ministries, foreign missions, deputy ambassadors, and departments and agencies there. If you get head of chancery, now all the embassies then at the world, why do you need to have deputy ambassadors where say you get problem with money, global crisis day, but you still send deputy ambassadors the way you get for play. You create more foreign missions them. You create more than 15, MDAs them. You see, so government is not being judicious in handling the problem. So if you they spend, you for able handle. And if I go to the wage bill, you go not say Benin government not ready for provide the prerequisite solution to the problem we they face now.
Now, before you come to wage bill, in the issue of hiring people for serving at different MDs and also creation of MDs and also embassies, then go tell you say, or government go tell you say, we need the necessary human capacity or human resource for build salon repetition or for move salon forward in terms of job and expertise. So we need them for come on board.
The definition of austerity, me on couch definition of that cut according to your size. If you say war in Ukraine, you not get money. Why do you have to create way for let's spend more money? You get for spend judiciously. You get for put the people at the center of your expenditure so that you go no say you don't go expend. Now I just mean they make illustrative example about the wage bill. If government they go through this financial crisis, where they say na Russia, Ukraine war, where they say na COVID, then for ensure say they're able to control the wage bill. But let's just give you an illustrative example. If you go to appendix 6 of the wage bill, yeah, the office of the chief of staff now in then transform to the office of the chief minister. The time where APC day, the office of the chief of staff, the wage bill now been 22 billion. But then you get the ODA under the office of the chief of staff. You get the MCC under the office of the chief of staff. You get the PPP under the office of the chief of staff. You get the APRM under the office of the chief of staff. So all landing in they make 2 billion. Now under the office of the chief minister, we're almost not the same. They don't pull ODA, it na foreign affairs. They don't pull PPP, it na office of vice president. They don't pull MCC, it na office of vice president. But then still they get 2 billion as their wage. You see, so why you reduce the number of staff then you still maintain the same office.
Right.
Now we go also to the office of the president. In 2017, office of the president they get wage of 59.8 billion loans. 59.8 billion loans. That when we mean the left power. Now in 2022, office of president they get 101.8 billion loans. And in 2022, 101.8 billion loans. So to me, 86% increment in the wage also they contribute.
Right. I want to introduce you to the program. Abubakar Tarawali, in a policy analyst from Budget Advocacy Network Band. Good morning and welcome to the program. Good morning, Salon.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Okay, continue for stay with you inside the program. We'll come back to you.
All right, we come over now to Honorable Mustafa Musa Selu, Member of Parliament, Constituency 095 under the Sierra Leone People's Party. Members of Parliament, they continue the debate, and tomorrow I will go for conclude them. And for Salon people, in as much as now they approve the budget for for let them ministries, departments, and agencies, them get money for implementing different activities, them. But as members of Parliament, them where they represent the people, them na Parliament, they done the debates. Them budgets are not to the first time. This every year budgets and don't they go to Parliament. For this particular budget, we're now on our table now, we're in on the debates currently. Waiting are some of the highlights and where you don't identify, say, go able for address the needs of citizens them, especially the vulnerables them, where now the theme than they for the particular budget. Wetin you think say na the highlights them wey you don't identify so far as member of parliament as to addressing the current situation?
Yeah. Before I go to that point, I just want, because we dey live and people they listen. Radio Democracy in a station we get a very wide audience in this country and internationally. So I want to just make some issues, and I want to clarify some issues that we brought it up. Austerity, not get what I meaning. Austerity in a bad economic situation, unless if you want to create other meaning will add to dictionary, something like Michael West, not even Oxford. Yeah. If we talk about exchange rate. The Tijan Kaba SPLR government left exchange rate 2007 2.4 million for $100. So if somebody come in 11 years, where we be get a very stable economy and where we be rate as the fastest growing economy, where we get everything, by then the company, the mining companies, royalties contribution no more, it be in the billions. Now we're in millions. Yeah, where they contribute to the budget, to the national budget. So when we get all of that, then they count liquid dollar into the country, they pump liquid dollar into the country. Still, we're able to maintain the balance. We go up to 8,500 million.
So the current situation warrants austerity.
Well, let me tell you, say you don't get control over the national disasters or the global issues, yeah, but you get control how you manage them. So if we say we not declare austerity because they manage the situation well, where APC declare austerity, they say they want to cut down expenditure. Now that's international travel goes to 60%. Check records. Now they travel more than ever during austerity in this country. APC big ones, they travel more than the budget for international travel are to 60%. Yeah. So like just the austerity they be just declared and they for let we don't know see they gather for commods because they don't see the how the wind they blow. Yeah. So in this country, now sincere for be sincere. Now you go to the banks, commercial banks. First in history, the business community first will get for be sincere to say. Now we get more foreign deposit than loan deposits. Now the banks, where they point out some indicators we're not really good. Then we want self attitude, yeah, as business people, as a government. What we don't do recently, the Bank of Salon released over $800 million into the auction into the market, and the oil companies, their dollar what did they get for go buy? Now the government they provide them the. Yeah, so where my brother talk about exchange rate variables or whatever, yes, we agree the exchange rate is on the negative side right now, but the issue how they manage situation. 9, all the importers then will get what they import. Now this government is subsidized, they support them through forget the foreign currencies. And the travel, so you see people for cut down travels. Most of the travels we need for check. They are not supported from the national budget. People then get donors and where they fund them for go to travels. They are most of the travels them. So for instance, we get conference now Geneva. The Islamic Development Bank one for let's say fisheries, Ministry of Fisheries, they attend. Now they pay that cost not on government. So let people know that and let the honorable member let education on that small say we get donor counterpart funds as well where they support the project they are.
So the issue of declaring austerity or maintaining the exchange rate, you think say within Honorable Abdul say the nation don't pass that stage for past the austerity now or for going into austerity. You agree with that?
Well, Musa, not to by force for say Apo. Me say I will manage the situation and we manage them well. So what's in that problem for say pass to say austerity, we declare austerity, we pay salaries on time, we free quality education, we they take 21-22% of the budget. We see the manage them very well. You see school buses they run, we pay subsidies. No school will not get subsidy inside this third or fourth quarter of this. So no wait. You go declare austerity where you know for manage or for support you when they talk about even the internship routes where the government funded project the feeder roads now government funded project we still go on with this. The health sector we still provide essential drugs at the facilities. So what you want to say you want force for let we say we never manage to do no.
I can describe the living condition of people in Asalon as it is.
As it is, the living condition, like I say, we know this government now 4 years it don't take. If we meet this country like America, the living standard or condition will be very improved or can reduce them, they will begin blaming. Now what if for only responsible for? Now how will they manage them? At the still million. Otherwise, don't for the see petrol, if for parking motorcar. But what we don't do as a government, now for little cushion the effect. So all of this way they see so we still they say the hit they hard people they had. If government will intervene, then we'll talk about bread and butter. When the man they talk about you get professional staff they will get for deploy across. Yeah. the honorable member.
Thank you.
We get professional staff working for deploy. There are some expenditures that are really, really legitimate and very important for run the affairs of the state. Yeah. If we don't get to manifesto, we don't get what we want to deliver. If we not get the requisite personnel for deliver that particular agenda, we fail. And that the APC don't wait for, but we'll not allow that. Like 98.8. If they take Una now, they take maybe they take Musa, they count with people that we just don't mass communication with due respect. They just don't see the count now. The way they interviewed, the way they handle the situation, it would be very different. The count management, we know one day management experience will be different. If we don't the be before, we don't manage the situation very well. And this all don't project, so we believe say we can manage in a more professional way than ever we think of, because now we growth rate with the honorable talk, we go to projection is 5%. Yeah. So when we talk about managing the economy, even the foreign reserve, the foreign reserve during the APC term, if I take you to 2017, now 3.16 of a month of import cover, we at least will get 4 months of import cover. APC in 2017, how APC left in 2017, 2019, 4.3. Now we're at 7.6 months import cover as a government. So we foreign reserve is very, very strong. Those are the some of the indicators where they look at the management of the before you cut me off, look at the office of chief minister, where they highlight chief minister, office of chief minister, not to the chief minister as a person we talk about, now the office. Mind you, infrastructure, they take huge chunk of the money. Now they will get the presidential infrastructure initiative under this office of chief minister, where the how they call it, Service Street Bridge, we collapse. Less than 6 months, we don't construct them back. What's that money come on? Now from this office of the chief minister under the infrastructure initiative, presidential infrastructure initiative. If not be there, if not we brought the bill by then, like now boom do work.
I want to welcome again Abubakar Tarawali from in a policy analyst na budget advocacy network BAN. We na civil society organization. We don't talk on the budget and the economy. Good morning once more. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Yes, today we look at the appropriation bill.
Talk about, but as you know, one of the issues of concern are the way how members of parliament when they behave when they debate this particular important document. For we, the budget are the second most important document after the Constitution, because it's a document we hold everybody in sustenance in the country. You know, before now, when they read the budget, a lot of people them what do they want for know? They want to know about salary increment, how much they get for campaign teacher, how much the ordinary man get out of that budget day. So they say the politics don't override the very purpose for which the MPs them supposed to serve during the debates of the budget. And the 2023 budget, the MP them supposed to take them very serious, because 2023 na election term, and this budget is supposed to get it right, because anything we will fail forget now at this point, pass another 12 months. So the politics will go out of the debate totally, and let me look at the issues. First of all, we're glad to say the government finally tried for mainstream gender budgeting. What to make we take the aspect of gender budgeting very serious, because they speak to the aspirations and needs of the ordinary man. We don't work in a band, they look at the social sector, things that really affect me and you too. For example, inside the budget, when I able to cater for water for the old people then, and there are issues then will come up again at the international space and at the national space. Yes, so we don't see over the time how most of them policy there they celebrate it, but the budgeting for be very practical for speak to how they go now correspond for make them workable.
So because ban on they work closely where camper issues we get for do with budget and financing na the country, and una don dey monitor this ongoing debate way in the parliament. Today they be the 4th day. Tomorrow and then go for conclude the debates and approve the budget at the end of the day. From all the concerns and way ban be done the raise over the years, and also the time again where the budget discussion be they go on. I remember we been get somebody from ban again where they highlight some of the issues them where una wants for let Parliament focus on for ensure say, like how you say, these are critical budgets. Let them go able to see some of the issues here and address them before then they agree for the budget finally. So far, inside the past 3 days, when I don't see the members of Parliament and they take up then key issues here we don't make mention of so far.
Of course, I just be the try for highlight, which I not see at all. Even if you did, but it not reflect in the black and white documents where they before me and you two they talk about. Much of the debates don't focus around issues of pay yourself, issues of austerity, issues of inflation. Well, not they say the issue, then they're not important. They're very much important because they get something for do with how we may they live in the country. But one for select government action, this country I want to, like last year, for the very first time, the FSU gets a budget line. Say the first lady, we done the champion Hands Off Our Girls campaign. But it go interest you for no say, now NSSF they raise your own funds, what in the budgets they do about that? It go interest you for no say 800 billion, where they earmark for let it go now the FSU account. It not reflects them. But then I want thing for make the allocation, another thing for do the disbursement, so that the Salon police will begin account for say if they say sexual and gender-based violence, we get side for go take, for go address NTR. We don't know say penetration, raping, don't become a menace in society. The budget forget deliberate action where they take for let it respond towards them policies then they. Now we don't talk about mainstreaming gender into 5 MDs. But then the black and white, the detailed budget, you know get anything where almost silent about how the government get for go about this. Okay, now the respective MDs, they all don't present their budgets them. We need the members of parliament for scrutinize this document for see to eat that. A work in line with the thing where they say vulnerability. Where they say vulnerability, they cut across on a big word. It affects the motor man, then it affects the environment, it affects contexts where we're not able for address, where they're outside of the control. So we don't follow the debate. Some members of parliament don't make very meaningful contribution, issues around the economy, issues around policy, but one for see concrete action.
Okay. Let me look at, you talk about the allocations for speak to the team we get for address vulnerabilities. When you look at ministry, department and agencies and the allocation, also you think say forget more allocation and urgency in terms of addressing within the team?
Already the government get a flagship project in a free quality education. But again, when you talk about human capital development, not just education and health, you also get agriculture, understand? Fishes, all them tiers away, they contribute for let the country and then go na the flag. You understand? For let we feel how the development process will go on, and then they inside that particular category where they say human capital development. But then there is no balance. Okay. Even the education budget, okay, they don't go to 22% of the total discretionary budget. But then we want to see waiting at the actual, expenditure where they go for reflecting changes there. The MPs they know them so much as we do, how then they debate in our parliament, but we think affects most of the quality time. Now because politics they come in. You go see a member of parliament, they begin make a point, then go call a point of order, then you understand me. Then the MP go try for land and then it affects if you get 10 minutes, out of all this point of order, this, that. If you know strong enough, you go be distracted and then you're not go able for land.
Okay.
And some of we the citizens we interested for know the submission of the MPs them on particular issues. And the issues they are so to make us see them crucial. And that after every 12 months I will get the say. Very soon they get for left parliament and they count on for campaign. And most of the campaign points it go boil on waiting in at the national plan.
Okay.
You don't get for campaign, means anything new say go do this way, government no budget for.
Right.
So it's very important for us to get it right because nowadays the listenership or the following on radio and TV, it don't strong that people necessarily want forget and take quoting members of parliament and they talk very serious.
Okay.
So as then they go towards the ending, let them go back and look at the omissions. Issues the way very important way they not talk about it, but we equally very critical and important for let them talk about, because they get the right for approve, they get the right for stand down the budget based on certain issues where they feel say you know right. Members of Parliament, they are powerful people.
The Speaker, Honorable Dr. Cherno Abbas Bundu, don't suspend Honorable Aaron Aruna Kuruma na constituency 048, Honorable Lahai Mara na constituency 042, and Honorable Abdul Karim Kamara na constituency 059, and don't ask them for pay for all waiting poil na parliament. The Foseka the fair to be happened in November 23 this year. It talk this way, it be the talk about indecision for Seka this fair to be happening. The time where they make go the proportional representation statutory instruments, where the Deputy Attorney General Bingo Liam na the well of Parliament. Well, for more on this decision, Musa Kamara go reports.
The feds na the well of Parliament of November 23 this year between the opposition APC MP them and Parliament security. Now one way the Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Dr. Cherno Abbas Bundu, don't describe as disorderliness where even the 1991 Constitution no get provision for deal with.
The Constitution itself does not specifically address the issues currently in hand, but arguably they come within the rubric of contempt of power. The silence of the Constitution is one that is not difficult to understand. The framers of our Constitution never anticipated that a person so highly exalted and called honorable, indeed a lawmaker for that matter, would ever even think of shedding his high exalted endowment and descend so low to the level of a vagabond or a street fighter. So today, we are faced with a situation that is entirely unique and probably never contemplated by the framers of the Constitution. An honorable man turned vagabond, but who surely cannot and should not go unpunished.
Even though the Speaker say the 2023 election don't raise tension among saloon people, now one way he say he no go allow happen na Parliament.
As we count down the months and days left to the next general election, there has been a noticeable escalation of the crudest profanity and most incendiary political rhetoric ever. A climate that is likely to grow exponentially unstable, riven with mistrust and mutual intolerance, fueled by wild accusations and innuendos and online bullying, making democracy to look unhinged and outlandish. We cannot and must not allow this to prevail in our society. Therefore, the people we elect as our representatives to Parliament must learn to listen, to be tolerant of one another, and to play the game of politics strictly by the rules. And I would like to reaffirm to this Parliament and the nation at large that under my watch, this House of Parliament will have no room to accommodate those who degenerate to the abyss of renegades and hoodlums.
For sake of all this, make the Speaker don't suspend 3 members of Parliament them from the opposition APC party, where all this according to them, now according to CCTV image and other video recording them, where show say then 3 MP be involved in these fates.
And in exercise of both the powers contained in SO 43 and vested in me as Speaker, and in order to provide a deterrent against similar action in future, I have decided as follows. That Honorable Aaron Aruna Kuruma of Constituency 48, Honorable Lahai Mara of Constituency 042, and Honorable Abdul Karim Kamara of Constituency 059 shall withdraw indefinitely from all proceedings in the House until a final determination is made by the House from the recommendations of the Committee of Privilege, to which their misconduct is hereby committed. Until then, all their privileges, immunities, remuneration, and allowances are withdrawn.
The Speaker continues say the MP for pay for all the things them we pull inside this fete in 2 weeks' time.
That they pay equally to Parliament within 2 weeks the total amount of 380,000 new leones, being the cost of the properties of Parliament damaged as a result of the attack on the chamber on 23rd November 2022. And that if they fail to pay the said amount within the time thus stipulated, that it shall be deducted from any gratuities due to them at the end of the life of this 5th Parliament.
Even though Parliament don't withdraw this case from the Criminal Investigations Department, where been they look inside this case, the Speaker say police for investigate all the one them where it described as stranger will be mixed by these fates.
No further action shall be taken by the Sierra Leone police against the 3 members of parliament aforementioned. That appropriate action shall be taken by the Sierra Leone police against all the strangers who participated in the incident of 23rd November 2022. No strangers be allowed into the galleries of the Well of Parliament except by official invitation from the office of the Speaker. And all strangers so invited shall be subjected to proper search before admission. 4, that with immediate effect, no strangers be allowed to enter the premises of Parliament with mobile phones, drinks, and food items. 5, that with immediate effect, all drivers to members of Parliament shall only be allowed to stay in their vehicles or in the vicinity of where their vehicles are parked. Honorable members, this is my ruling. I thank you.
After this ruling, the Deputy Speaker, Honorable Segepo Solomon Thomas, been rise and drab all the one them way been dead at Parliament Gallery, including the media. But after some time, World Commoner do say the Speaker don't reverse in decision and allow the media for continued coverage on the appropriation bill. But all the decision against other people we describe as stranger for enter Parliament stand. For the Society for Radio Democracy, Musa Kamara, the reports. And to Honorable Abdul Kabo, and you don't give you won't point them as to why you think or what you wanna think about the budget as we round up the program now. What do you think say now the solution and the way forward in addressing issues of the budget and the economy with the border on the people?
Well, first thing, the budget, we get items then at the budget where they appear every year. Every year then they appear. And they, without reading the budget, you just they get say, they get for appear. One of the items then they na the Conakry Road, na my constituency. For the past 3 years, it appear in our budget, but say now nothing. They're not doing it about that. Also the Lunge electricity also, a very big challenge. For the past months, they get lights na Lunge. But I'll go into specific paragraph them, of the budget. You remember I say paragraph 6 of the budget, they talk about waiting government don't do, maintain zero input duty, GST, we me border, they say naya. All of them thing then they get limited impact because the prices of rice, cement, iron rod for all day at the increase. Yeah. Then also me border and I say me not for it the minister. I take the greatest exception to that. You see, most of them they talk then thing there now because we like the country and we want let them correct outside them they spend money unnecessarily. That not in any way insinuate I hate the minister. Yeah. So let even they think about that. Like what we say, government for institute some modalities then for let them reduce spending. Go say Ukraine war day, go say COVID day, then you they spend. Just the wage bill, they raise just in 5 years, in 4 years, they raise the wage bill by 2.9 trillion. Where they can meet at 1.9 trillion. Then raise them to 3.9 they raise them by 2.9 trillion just in 5 years. So sometimes they look at things, say no, because of the circumstances they will face so as a country, Lord reduce this, Lord cut this, Lord do this, Lord do this. But if you spend like say you're not subjected to any international problems or international global crunch, now that make you find out say Guinea they do extremely well than we. Now the first thing this in the history of the entire world, Guinea money, it value pass with your money, it double with your money, just because then decide for profile, good economic policies then for help them country. But we, not the profile them economic policies then they.
All right, many thanks for joining the program this morning. Honorable Abdul Kabo, Member of Parliament's Constituency 077, Port Local District. We come over to you, Honorable Mustafa Musa Selu, Constituency 095, na Moyamba District. Today, they continue the debates in Parliament, and tomorrow, we will therefore conclude the debate on the 2023 budget. As a Member of Parliament from the ruling SLPP, from the debate where the Members of Parliament don't do so far, waiting at the assurance we left with Salon people and say like how you be lay emphasis on the issue of maintaining waiting they happen sooner and managing the situation. Waiting at the assurance we left with and say this 2023 budgets as on the debate on are able for ensure say thing then the way address the needs of the people
Yes, Mabel, once more thanks very much. I think if you look at page 11 of the speech, paragraph 34, talk about containing inflation and stabilizing the exchange rates. We know, we take cognizance of this, and how they always talk about managing the situation. So they contain the inflation and we try to stabilize them. Yeah. In terms of how this budget they speak to the common man, maybe I talk about wage bill. Maybe 11 years, we get what to call fixed factor. In economics, we go to call fixed factor and the variable factors where they affect certain changes. If we become inside these 4 years, we know they recruit teacher, we know they recruit police, we know they recruit health workers, we know they increase salaries. The wage before they still say it. But we will come, you will not see inside the we say they refer to as stronghold. We don't give pin codes to teachers over 400 to 500 to 1,000 teachers across, and as on this same wage bill, we don't increase salary of police, we don't increase salary of military, we don't increase salary of other government workers, we don't increase salary of health workers, we don't take more health workers. In 11 years of APC rule, they not give teacher one grade teacher pin code, one grade one, not even in their strongholds one. Who can cut across. So tell me the factors that way they affect the wage bill could remain constant, na a fixed factor, but the variables where they come into that, now you get for look at. So if we still not increase all of that, and the wage bill, you get for the increase with time.
So
Once an any responsible government come, before that, globally, your wage bill for B, look at the nominal value. It will be 7% of your GDP. That's the global trend, and and we still there at that threshold. So what's the trend for saying if we as members of parliament, like a parliament, they can't close, would they expect something at the end of the day? All that the burden of the wage bill, the saturation rate of parliamentarians. If 100 out of 100%, if 60% go, they go with pension. You get for add on the wage bill. So the wage bill, not to possibly make it, but how you put money in people's pocket directly. The nurse they in at the village where they provide services. If we not pay them, the teachers in at the village, if we not pay them. So these are monies going directly to the people. Yeah. So the bread and butter issue, not just a literary word and but what that really means, now how money they're going to pass in pocket and able to feed in family at the end of the day. And that is just what we are doing with the wage bill.
I want to draw your attention to the comparison we can have.
Democrats and the Republican, when they debate issues, they always reflect back, they compare the past. That's how you make progress. You compare the past and the present, then you determine the future. So this is going to happen time and again. Yeah, because we need to know what are the baseline, what we come out, and what we do. So SLPP-led government left exchange rate for instance 2,400.
That's be make the people and be decide the 2018 election say they want a new government.
And they're not going to make no mistake.
Because they don't want to look at waiting.
They're not make no mistake for put it. If we not be in a power that year, not to a leadership we're very focused and very determined for manage situation. The PFM Act of 2016, now the past 9 enacted. But because of the single treasury account, they don't say they will disadvantage them. We can implement them. So now make it say they grant the guy, yes, but the salaries are still paid. So just because that loopholes so people they get free things, they happen, we get this single treasury account. I think that's a novelty as well. Where they means. Yeah. Like this country don't wreck.
No, Guinea money not for pass.
No, well, Guinea money go cancel that. Guinea money they cancel that. They even look at. They even fail to look at the things that will happen in terms of the company, in terms of the foreign exchange.
Not for the change.
No, if not they are called, they buy guys 1 million.
Members,
But anyway, we don't try for the people of this country. I would do more.
Many thanks, Honorable Member of Parliament.